Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Kansas Jayhawks Dynasty. Here today, we do have a end of the regular season recap. We are 6-6, so we should be getting the bowl game. But I figure I wanted to show you guys a little recap before I get through the bowl game and head into an off-season live stream to end out year number 2. I figured, I haven't been posting this a lot lately. I just posted yesterday, I do believe, or 2 days ago. Week 15, the last game. So I figured I'd do a little recap and show some stats and stuff, and maybe just get you guys a little bit of a round out about year 2 with the Kansas Jayhawks. A 6-6 season, an improvement from 4-8, and we hope to keep climbing up that ladder, maybe go 8-4 and continue our way up 10-2, and then ultimately leading our way to competing for national championships. But right now, we're in the middle of all that rebuilding process, trying to get better recruits. I'm going to be honest, you guys will see in the off-season live stream, I didn't get any big recruits, but I do think I have quite a few of them that hopefully progress well. I think I also have some pretty good players. Right now, as you see, Curtis Samuel actually wins the Heisman in year 2, 1,276 yards and 6 touchdowns and 10 receiving touchdowns. And there you see our bowl game, the Bridgepoint Holiday Bowl, facing off against Stanford. That one, Stanford's a pretty good football team, and they've been known to be a good football team. We played them in San Diego. Kansas heading to San Diego to face off against Stanford. That is going to be no easy matchup whatsoever. They are 8-4, but we'll get more into that matchup in a little bit. Right now, we're just going to cap off the year. I'll show you the top 25 polls here that ended out the season. Number 1 being Texas A&M, then Notre Dame, Florida, Clemson, and you can see the rest as I go through this. Well, like I was saying, heading to the offseason, I think we got quite a few players, but I don't know if we had many 4 stars, big guys that are going to make an impact right away. And I'm hoping going 6-6 and maybe going 7-6, hopefully win this bowl game, which could be a bit of a tough one, that we will be able to get some of those bigger recruits that can really help impact right when they get on campus. As you see, we're going to head to All-Americans here. I don't know if we're going to have anybody in here, but you see Josh Rosen's on there, Deontay Foreman. Who else is on here? We got Cam Robinson from Alabama, the offensive lineman. We're just going to keep going through this. If you guys have your favorite players, favorite teams, you can stop the video and look at it as you see TJ Watts on there. Hudson Hall, first team All-American as a junior. That should really bump him up and overall. I'm excited to use him next year. He's only a junior, heading into his senior year, coming off first team All-American at middle linebacker. Need to have a big year out of him next year as we head to the second team All-NCAA. So we just keep going through here. This is year 2, so some of these guys might not seem familiar to most of you, but it is year 2 and they progress well. And maybe some of these guys are from your favorite team, so you do know who that is. Derek Barnett there, as you see, from Tennessee. He's on here as we keep going. There's Gary and Conley. Yeah, he got in that big trouble stuff. But here's Alex Manning, the true freshman starting strong safety force, getting second team All-American. Now that is a pretty big honor, and he is very good, and he is very well deserving of that. I can tell you that right now. He's very good. He made some big plays for us this year. We're going to need him to be a little bit better in coverage, or actually tackling. Coverage, he was all right. I meant to say tackling, because if you remember that last game against Baylor, he ran through about 5-6 times, but then he came back with a pick 6, and as you see, he also gets the first team, or the all-freshman NCAA All-American, but obviously if you get second team All-American, you should be on the freshman team. As we see, we're going to keep going here to award winners. The Maxwell Award goes to Kent Myers and Josh Rosen in second, with J.T. Barrett there in third. Looks like he got injured, actually. If you saw the little icon as we keep going through here, Deshaun Kaiser's in there. Here's a Walter Camp Award. Curtis Samuel wins Heisman, but not the Walter Camp, as we keep going on here. Not anybody really. There's Leonard Fournette way down there. Here's the Bednarik Award. We're not on many of these lists, if I'm honest. Obviously, if you go 6-6, you probably didn't have very many players that really had a breakout year. But Hudson Hall and Alex Manning had a very good years. Don't get me wrong, but maybe not these type of tiers. You see the stats in the top right. Maybe not this tier of years from those great players, but just not up to these levels. As you see, we keep going. We're going through the bowl games now. If you see your favorite team, actually, I'm very curious on who your guys' favorite teams are. I say this a lot when I go through the bowl games, but I'm really just curious on who you guys enjoy, or who you guys watch and who you cheer for on Saturdays when college football is on. As you know, we only have a few more months left actually until we get back to the fall and we are back to college football Saturdays. I'm looking forward to it. But right now we're going through all the bowl games. As you see, we will get to the national championship, which will be Notre Dame versus Texas A&M, 11-1 against 12-1. That should be a good game. Except for Notre Dame doesn't play in a conference, so I'm not quite sure who they scheduled. But we'll go through the season stats here. As you see, here's Montel Kozar. He's 273 for 440, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 62% completion percentage. Not too bad, but he was sacked 25 times. Just ultimately couldn't lead us to too many wins. He also almost rushed for 1,000 yards. He might break 1,000 if he has a nice bowl game. He has a 900 there, but there's Gonzalez and Sternberger and our top two right there in receiving as we round out the rest of receiving. If you see the years on most of these guys, I have a lot of juniors and seniors that are catching basically every pass that I have. Every receiver that's out there is a junior or senior, and I did not recruit too many wide receivers. I have a few, but not many that are going to make a breakout type of year right away as freshmen. I don't believe, I mean, I'd love to have that happen, but I'm not quite sure that's going to happen. You see Alex Manning led us in total tackles with 84, Hudson Hall at 81, as we keep going down the list. Solo Alex Manning, what am I talking about? He needs to get better at tackling. Here's tackle for loss. Hudson Hall had 19 tackles for a loss. He also had 4 sacks. It's tied with Williams and Kellen Ash. And then there's Wise, and we keep going down the list with a couple more interceptions. Manning had 1, Hall had 1, Peterson had 1, Spencer had 1, and Miller Jr. had 1 as well. As we keep going through here, pass deflections, Colin Spencer with 4, Peterson with 3. Let's keep going. Forced fumbles, Alex Manning, he had 2. Fumble recoveries, we barely even got any of those. We had quite a few actually, but then all of them get overturned. So that doesn't really matter. You see kicking, we only kicked 13 field goals this year, but he made all 13, and he's a true freshman, 65 overall. So I'm hoping that goes up. We also missed an extra point. I guess I don't really remember that, but it must have got blocked or I wasn't paying attention. I'm not really sure, but we missed one. Punting, that's just really hard in this game. It's not like the new Madden where you can really down it deep down there. Steven Sims Jr., I was hoping I could get at least one return touchdown and from the punt or kick return game, but he did not get that. So maybe we'll look elsewhere for next year and get a little bit more speed or something out there. But this is a big one. Stanford and Kansas bowl game. First bowl game in quite a while for Kansas Jayhawk fans to be witnessing. And we'll see what we can do. Here's the Stanford schedule. They lost to Washington week 2. They lost to Oregon, and they lost to Cal and Army. So really not too bad losses until they got down to Army, and then they lost a big one there. As you see, you already know our record. We kind of went back and forth all year. We won our first one, lost the next 2, won the next 2, then we just split. So if the streak continues, we'll win this game. But we'll have to see. As you see their lineup, and it will be dangerous. They love to run the ball, and we cannot stop the run. So it shall be interesting. I'll be bringing that one to you guys very shortly. I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. And as always, I'm out. Peace.